All right, folks, welcome to Whiskey Madness. I'm Cliff, and I am glad you are here. Got a fun one tonight. Actually, going to roll up the sleeves on this one a little bit and dig right in. I've got four bourbons here that I'm pretty excited to put head to head. I've had all of these bourbons a number of times, and I think it's going to be an interesting competition today. We've got our normal 2x2 bracket. We'll get down to one winner with some head-to-head tastings, but each one of these are a little bit unique in relationship to each other. So the first one we're going to talk about is Walking Stick. Walking Stick is bottled by the Founders Company in Louisville, Kentucky. This bottle has a 5-cent refund in Iowa, Maine, Vermont. It's 15, in case you care. This one's 90 proof. It's a single barrel. Interesting story about how I came across Walking Stick for the first time. I was at Specs and just kind of browsing around, and a guy saw my Blanton's ball cap that I happened to be wearing and was like, "So you like Blanton's?" And I'm like, "Well, it's okay, but it's a hat." And he said, "Well, if you like Blanton's, try Walking Stick. Similar profile, blah, 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 yada, yada. It wasn't too expensive. Don't really remember exactly what I paid for it. Somewhere in the $45 range, if I remember correctly. So I bought it and, brought it home and it wasn't Blanton's to me, but it wasn't bad. Next on the list, Michter's. This is Michter's small batch. Michter's comes to us from Michter's Distillery, also in Louisville, Kentucky. Michter's was introduced to me by a buddy of mine who lives in Longview, Texas, and his family had, for many, many years, owned some liquor stores in that region of Texas. And the family sold him a few years ago, but he's still pretty tight with everybody there. And he was looking around. We were looking around on the shelves one day, and he was like, "Hey, have you ever had this?" And I was like, "No." It was pretty early in my bourbon days, and in my bourbon adventure. And so I picked up a bottle. We sat down. We probably went through half of it that night. Pretty good bourbon. So the next one on the list is Rowan's Creek. Oh, I forgot to say the proof on the Michter's. It is 91.4. 91.4. So Rowan's Creek is from Willett in Bardstown, Kentucky. And this one was batch QBC number 20-19. And I don't believe that's the year that it was put in the bottle. I just believe that's a batch number. And let's see, 50.5% or 100.1 proof. So we're similar with Walking Stick being a little bit lower here. Lastly, Angel's Envy. The unique thing about this one is, wow, everybody thinks it's pretty wonderful for the price point. I think it's like $45, at least in my area. This one's 86.6 proof, and it's finished in port barrels, which makes it a little sweeter, a little fruitier maybe. So we're going to put these head to head. I've got them, I think, in pretty close to the order that I want to seed them. So I'm going to seed this one as my number 1 seed. I am going to seed, let's leave it this way. We'll seed Walking Stick as the 2. The 3 seed will be Michter's, and the 4 seed will be Rowan's Creek. And we'll see how this thing turns out. So as always, we're going to start with the 2 versus the 3 seed. And we're going to pour first. Oh yeah, I like that sound. I hope you could hear that. Wow. The nose coming out of that bottle is it's present. It is just telling me, wow, that's very nice. All right. Just need a little sip there. We're gonna put the cork back in. We're going to pop it on the Again, not super, super strong on the nose. This one's a little more prominent, but we definitely have nice, nice notes coming through. Let's move these over here a little bit. And the match is on. Let's take a look at the color. Yeah, the Michter's looks to be a little darker, a little richer. See what kind of legs we get. The walking stick is definitely a little thinner. The legs start immediately. Kind of still waiting on the legs here. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, so it's a little slower down the side of the cup and doesn't really impact the taste or the performance of a particular bourbon in this competition, but it is something I kind of think is cool and I always seem to look for. How long does it take the legs to start and then to get to the bottom of the cup? So since we've got our 2 seed here and our 3 seed here, as always, we start with the lowest seed being the Michter's. Again, on the nose. We've got a little bit of alcohol, but not overwhelming. I mean, I don't feel like I need to pull away. It's rich. It's full. All the classic bourbon nose that you get. You get that vanilla and some caramel. I love it. Let's dive in and see how it tastes. Mm-hmm. Wow, nice. No, that one's nice. Coats your tongue really well. It has a slight burn, but I would definitely call it mild. This was what I've already forgotten. 91.4. Mild burn, lingering warmth down the throat and into the chest. Great flavor. Sweet, but not too sweet. Little oaky on the back end. A little more fruity and kind of tantalizing on the palate initially. Mm. Yeah, that is solid. That is a solid contender. Nice. Let's get a little palate cleanser here. All right, diving right into walking stick. This is a single barrel, and again, this is one that was presented to me as perhaps a more available, cheaper Blanton substitute. We'll see. The nose is lighter, mild, but still there's quite a bit going on in there. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a little more subtle, a little less in your face, um, but it's there. It's present. It's nice. Definitely less heat up front, more heat maybe on the actual swallow and on the finish, but it's a little less proof. It's a little less hot. The sweetness is there. The caramel is strong. The vanilla. There's almost a honey flavor to this as well. Is it Blanton's? No. Is it a good substitute? Mm, maybe. I could definitely see this in a cocktail. I could, you know, something with those Luxardo cherry in it. You know, that extra bit of cherry and sweetness. I think would give this a nice accent. But today's competition is really head to head on a neat pour. So let's get right down to it. Color goes to Michter's, nose goes to Michter's, finish goes to Walking Stick. Um, Coating the mouth and the palate, I would say, and just the flavor. Michter's is our walkaway winner today. So we actually have our first upset, number 3 upsetting the number 2 seed Walking Stick. And we will get back to you guys, or you, in a minute. All right. So now, this is kind of the matchup I've been waiting on. I think there's a real chance of an upset here. Number 4 over number 1. I don't know why. It's been a while, really, since I've had either one of these. But I definitely remember liking both quite a bit for what they are. And, you know, kind of a lower mid tier bourbon. I think they're pretty decent value. I think the Rowan's Creek I've seen $45 to $60 depending on, and kind of the same thing. Well, maybe not 60. I think I've seen it 45, maybe $50, 55 tops, at least in my area for the Angel's Envy. So, oh, we got a synthetic cork on the Rowan's Creek, which I'm not a fan either way. As long as it's tight fit and keeps the air in and out, I'm good with it. So let's get a pour here. We will take a look at how this goes. Oh yeah, that was a nice firm fitting cork. And let's take a look at the color. Those are very close. I think the Angel's Envy, I don't know. Those are very, very close. That would be hard to distinguish if I didn't know which one I poured. So no clear winner on the color. Let's do the leg thing because I just like it. Wow, nice. Wow, the Rowan's Creek is got a lot more legs. These are fewer and slower. This is a lot of legs coming down, a lot of little streams coming down the side of the cup. I don't know what any of that means, and frankly, I don't care. I just think it's cool to watch it and kind of compare. Maybe one day I'll do a little research on it, but right now my research is on the palate. We'll start with the Rowan's Creek. That's a nice nose too. A little definitely the least alcohol on the nose so far. It smells very smooth, very easy to take in. Yeah, let's taste it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Holy moly. So this one's kind of interesting. The first expression on the tongue was just pure sweetness up front. Honey, kind of a buttery biscuit kind of honey. Definitely the vanilla and caramel. Not really overly woody, which, you know, I don't mind an oaky bourbon at all. but I don't mind it being evasive either. That mhm. that that is excellent on the palate, but the finish goes down the side of your throat. It doesn't just hit you hard and burn all the way down. This is a gentle caressing of warmth all the way down. The finish is not particularly long and lingering, but the flavor is still exploding on my tongue. Very, very nice expression right there. I am pleasantly surprised and pleased. Another little cleanse real quick. All right. Diving into the port barrel finished Angel's Envy. You actually can smell. You can actually smell the port barrel finish. I maybe it's marketing, but I feel like I can smell it. It definitely has a distinctive nose compared to all the other three, even though they were all different. This is really different. All right, let's see how different it is on the palate. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is a slow sipper. I don't know if you have kids and they're out in the backyard playing and you're just sitting out there watching them in the summertime. This is kind of the mood and the setting that I can see you sipping on a glass of this. Just a neat pour over next 30 minutes to hour and a half, however long your kids can take the Texas heat. Um, it's subtle, but it's complex. It's easy to take in, but it doesn't leave you unfulfilled. It's fulfilling. It's satisfying. The finish has a little more. I wouldn't really call it pepper, but it is a little spicier finish, and a little more of the alcohol warmth. The finish is not particularly long lasting, which is why I think it kind of got that adjective I said earlier of refreshing. Um, to me, the length of the finish, the how long it lasts, that warmth, that burn, if you will, kind of is the key indicator for that refreshingness to me. The more there is here, the less I would be inclined to say it's a refreshing bourbon. It is kind of refreshing, but the longer that finish sits, the less I'm inclined to use that term. Sounds a little confusing to me. So we're going to move right on to picking our winner and see who moves on to the second round. First thing I'm going to do is put the cork back in. It'll give me another minute to contemplate my decision. And let's see. On the nose, I'm going Rowan Creek. On the finish, I'm going Angel's Envy. But on the palate where it matters most, that winner is going to be tough to choose, I will tell you. They're different. Sweeter, port barrel finish, more traditional, well balanced. Boom, we have a winner. Rowan's Creek. I'll be the number 4 seed. My lowest expectation out of this matchup just knocked off my highest expectation in this matchup. So we're going to have number 3 going against number 4, head to head for the win. All right, so we will start with Rowan's Creek since it is the number 4 seed. We always start with the lower seed. I'm really not sure how this is gonna go. This is a solid matchup. So normally I kind of feel like I have some predefined or predetermined expectation. I've already had both of these, and I have no clue how this is going to go. And I love that. That is my favorite part about this. You know, just whatever you expect can be upended when you absolutely least expect it. So on the color, you know, it looks like the Michter's might be just a shade, maybe not even a full shade lighter. So I can't really give, you know, anything on an edge either way on the color. On the nose, man, this is explosive on the nose. There's all kinds of goodness going on there. I mean, if this was a nose competition, it'd be hands down right now. Yeah, they are different on the nose. I didn't really pick up on this until they go side by side. This one has a slight medicine-y. I definitely did not pick up on this earlier, but in comparison, it almost has a cough syrupy nose to it that I definitely did not get when compared to Angel's Envy. This one is just so complex on the nose. It's got everything you would imagine 2x. It's got 2x vanilla, 2x cinnamon. It's got some banana in there. Banana? Really? Wow. Okay, well, there's no competition. Nose has it for Michter's. And that nose was so good that I just drank the number 3 seed instead of the number 4 seed, but that's all right. We'll get there. Very distracting nose. Again, it full flavor across the entire part of your tongue, from the sides and underneath your tongue. Wow. Warmth, sizzle. Man, it's good stuff. On the tip of the tongue is that sweetness, and then down the back of your tongue, just this lingering explosion of spice and sweetness and bourbon joy. All right, so I am going to cleanse one more time. And number 4 seed Rowan's Creek. It's got a little bit of a hill to climb, but I didn't expect it to beat that one. So let's see how we fare. Wow. that is this is catching me off guard because it is coming across on the nose and on the palate very different compared to the Michter's than it did compared to Angel's Envy. I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to try to put to words what I'm experiencing. Okay, so it has a drying sensation in my mouth, not in a bad way, but it doesn't make it. I don't drink it and it make my mouth water. I'm drinking it and it's actually like giving me a drying sensation, which is vastly different than the Michter's. Um, it has a good balanced blend between the alcohol presence, which contributes or gives it that burn, and then contributes to that spiciness. It is spicy. It is perhaps more spicy than Michter's, but it's not as prominent with the traditional flavors, the vanilla and the caramel. Um, there is definitely no banana in this one. Whatever. Um, yeah, this is maybe the biggest discovery of the whole time is how much this one has adapted or changed on the nose and on the palate. Finish is still the same, but on the nose and the palate when compared to these two different bourbons. So from a standpoint of dynamics, how is it going to give you a variety of different experiences? Maybe this one wins. But today, our number one pick is Michter's Small Batch. Again, coming in at 91.4 proof. Man, this big guy is everything you would want in a classic, mid-priced, mid-tier bourbon. This is definitely not the cheapest thing on the shelf, and it may not always be easy to find. We go through spells when I absolutely can't seem to put my fingers on it, and living where I do, that's kind of surprising because we have a lot of liquor stores and it's a big city. So, I love this pre-Revolutionary War quality standards. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean exactly, but it's kind of a cool statement. Anyway, Michter's Small Batch, our winner today. Man, get you a bottle. Enjoy this thing. Neat. Heck, I think you would enjoy it in a cocktail. I think you would enjoy it over a cube. But definitely make sure it's on your shelf. This is a winner, I think, in maybe not first place winner in any competition, but it's going to be a competitor in any competition. Wow, great one. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We need every subscribe, every like. Hit the bell for notifications. We're a brand new channel, just starting out. Going to get better. We've got a long way to go, but we've got some cool things planned. Hope you enjoyed this one and come back for the next show. Thanks. God bless.